And today, the Red Raiders and the Ducks donated their time and effort to support a nonprofit there in Miami. They helped till and prepare an urban garden plot with the Green Haven Project. It focuses on building community gardens and sustainable ecosystems in residential neighborhoods that lack access to fresh food. It also provides support with school lunches and a food pantry.
Now you're all part of this collective experience. I'm just a voice for the project, but it's never about me. It's about all of this and all of us coming together and knowing that even though you might not come here after today, that you still planted your own seed here that's going to go towards benefiting others. So give yourselves a round of applause.